I'm sorry, it's 2 tackles. 2 sacks. And that they hold the Rams under 30. What will you do?
And they win.
And they win. What will you do?
I will wear what Jamal Adams wore to his press conference on Sunday after they beat the 49ers, which
Do we have an image?
Do you have the image?
I think it's coming.
So.
I don't know if it's ready.
No,
We're working on it.
No shirt, leather jacket.
Okay, that's you?
Oh, here it is.
Oh, we got it. And here comes Schrager.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
It's like it's a
It's a suit jacket?
It's a satin.
I thought it was
satin
leather.
suit jacket.
Tuxedo.
Double-breasted even?
And it's huge.
Yeah. And Peter, you're not going to have the chains that cover
might be
up.
somebody
Well, we
else's
certainly
jacket.
can draw on
together.
tattoos.
That may be somebody else's
We can
jacket.
I'll draw some
It got
tattoos
shoulder
on you,
pads
Peter.
and everything.
You want me wearing that? It's a tuxedo jacket, what it
Fine,
appears
go
to
get
be.
one, yes.
All right.
Go to some rental place on 47th Street.
Dante Tuxedo, Freehold Mall.
Go get him, Jamal.
The Freehold Mall. On that note, let's talk about would you rather. And a couple of teams in the AFC, both with some great defensive play to start the season. Would you rather take the Browns defense or the Bills defense? Who's better?
Right to me. I'm going to say Browns defense. Okay. I took a lot of heat for this yesterday on the show because I was like, they got the best defense in the league, and all the Bills fans like, we just shut out 2 teams in a row. What are you talking about? I need to see what the Bills do against a couple different offenses. Nothing against Jacoby Brissett and that Dolphins. He was thrown in after Tua went down with the hip, and then last week, Davis Mills, it looked like he didn't stand a shot. I'm not taking anything away from that Bills defense. They're playing great. They got the Chiefs this weekend.
Yeah.
They got Chiefs on Sunday night. The Chiefs have had their number. I need to see that first. Browns, to do what they did to Kirk Cousins and that Vikings offense, they held them to 7 points. The Vikings had only 10 plays past the 50-yard line on Sunday after their first drive. It was something. And then it was on the heels of that Bears game. I'm going to go Browns have the best defense in the league right now as we enter week 5, but I can easily change that if I see Mahomes under duress from this Bills defense all night.
I'm going to call my high school tuxedo shop Friar Tux, T-U-X. Friar Tux, Hawthorne Mall, Vernon Hills. Listen, the Bills defense, they invested in the pass rush, right? And these guys, Rusho and Basham, like, they've been good. They got sacks, they got pressures, they got everything. They do look, and they did have 2 shutouts. And you're crazy you're not taking the Browns. I'm going with the Browns right now. There's this massive announcement right now today that we've talked about already that Matt Nagy is starting Justin Fields at quarterback. The only reason that is shocking is because of how bad he looked and they looked against the Browns defense. And maybe that one is not going to age terribly well in the sense that maybe it wasn't the worst line play ever. Maybe it wasn't the worst game plan ever. Maybe the Browns D is that good and they just have so much action. And I agree, the Minnesota game last week is one thing against Fields or whoever else they've played. Kirk Cousins was the hottest quarterback in the league, he and Derek Carr, and they just shut them down.
In Minnesota, too.
In Minnesota, in the Dome, and I got to go Cleveland after that.
Yeah, I wish this was asking about offenses. I really do, because then I would pick my Bills, but I can't pick the Bills defense. Not right now. They are playing at a championship level. I like what I'm seeing, but you're right, Peter. I got to see them against some different types of offenses, some more versatile types of offenses. And the reason why I'm picking Cleveland, not only because they have playmakers at every single level, but Myles Garrett is a guy that no matter what offense they're playing, they're going to have to circle this guy every week. We have to block him. We have to slide the line to him. They have that, that unblockable piece to their defense. That's why I'm picking the Cleveland.
And, of course, what they did to the Bears and Justin Fields and what we saw him do the week after. Now he's the starter of that team. That defense was stifling. Okay, sticking with D, let's highlight some standout cornerbacks this season, guys. Easy question. Which corner would you rather take on or take right now? The second-year breakout star, Trayvon Diggs. I mean, the ball's literally finding him on the field. Or the established veteran, Xavier Howard. Howard, by the way, has 1. This is so stupid. Diggs has 5 interceptions. 5, Kyle.
Well, I actually am going to go with your first instinct, Kay. I'm going to make it personally and who would I rather take on?
Yeah.
Who would I rather go against? Give me Diggs right now. And I would rather go against Diggs than Howard. And I'll tell you why. There's a danger in a hot corner. And there's a danger in a guy who's getting talked about and getting picks this, because I would double move his butt right off the bat and make him go for that pick. Like, Diggs is a sensation right now. Everybody's talking about him. There's a danger in making a mistake, to being like, I'm going to have 20 picks this season. I'm going to be Deion Sanders. If I was going against him this weekend, I would have an early double move, stop and go, anything like that, to try to see how bad he wants yet another interception. Howard's been quietly fine. He picked off Josh Allen. He's got an interception, too. He's just not going to have 20 of them. I would go against Diggs because there's nothing I like more than an excited corner. I think you can take advantage.
See, I would want Diggs because they wouldn't throw at me. And I'd be like, if I'm Kenny Galladay and I'm like, no one's throwing my way, I have an easy day at work.
Yeah, Kyle, to your point, when we're hyping cornerbacks up, they tend to take more chances.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm
Right?
saying?
Do you think
Yeah,
it's psychological?
they do.
Like-
It's a psychological.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I mean, you got to think, to play corner, you got to have a short memory. You get beat a lot. You know what I'm saying? And you got to still go out there and do your thing. So talking about corners, yeah, they take more chances. I would. Who would I not want to face? I don't think I know the question, but
Neither do I.
I don't want to
That's
face Xavier Howard. I don't.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to face him. If I was running routes, if I was a quarterback having to throw, the ball finds this guy. And he's been doing it for a long time. That's my thing. He's been on bad teams, and most of the time Miami is playing a team that has to throw the football, right? So he's had a lot of opportunities, a lot of chances going at him, and he still finds the ball. 11 interceptions since the start of last season. I know we're talking about Trayvon Diggs and 5 interceptions, but 11 since the start of last season? Come on, man. That's like... that's superhero. Yeah, Superman. That's superhero.
There is
status right there, man. I'd be scared to go against Xavier Howard.
I think what this question is essentially asking is Trayvon Diggs worthy of like the best corner in the league? Belt. And right now I think Jalen Ramsey has it tonight, and Xavier Howard's right there. Do we put a guy who's got such a hot start into that conversation? And I'd say yes. I think Trayvon Diggs has earned his place at this table because it's been over the last 2 years. He's got 8 interceptions in 16 games. He's got 5 interceptions already, and these are game-breaking plays. These are 2 pick sixes. Last week, Carolina started creeping back into that game. 2 interceptions, back-to-back drives. Let's put it away. He is a closer. I do not want to see Trayvon Diggs outside of the field. I'd almost rather see Xavier Howard. I know what that is. I've prepared for that for years. I understand the established veteran. This guy is such a wild card, this Diggs. Every time he touches the ball, it's a game-breaking play. And anytime they throw to him, it seems like he's got glue with his hands, and he catches it. So I would rather face Xavier Howard than Trayvon Diggs. And that's nothing against Howard. It's just Diggs is like, right now, sometimes you're on a hot streak, and he is in the midst of it.
Well, think about last year, how many times we saw Diggs trailing with a receiver wide open. Now, I know it was a messed-up defense.
How many yards they were giving up on that defense?
Oh, it's crazy. It was terrible. The worst defense in the National Football League. But I'm just looking at him specifically, and there were times where I'd seen a receiver 5 yards ahead of him catching a long pass. So I like what I'm seeing from him this year, but I need to see it more consistently. I need to see it for years.
So that's what you have to, for him to be in that conversation, he needs what?
I'd do it more than 1 year.
More, but those interception numbers matter too to you.
Absolutely. The interception numbers, the passes defended.
I would just say quickly, interception numbers are very misleading about who's the best corner. The best corner doesn't have a lot of interceptions because nobody throws them. Some years Deion would have 2 or 3. Nambi. Yeah. The best corner plays the night against Seattle. The hottest corner is in Dallas.
How do you think that's going to go tonight?
I want to see who he's going to guard.
He and DK.
Is it more Lockett? Is it more DK? I know a lot.
So they faced each other in 3 games last year, including the playoffs, of course. 10 targets to DK Metcalf when being covered exclusively by Jalen. He only caught 4 for 44 yards through 3 games. But when he wasn't guarding him exclusively, DK caught 2 touchdowns in that playoff game. So, I mean, if I'm the Rams, don't get cute. Put Jalen on DK the whole time. It's clearly effective. And I think Jalen gets in his head a little bit.
Well, Jalen plays in the slot, too. Now, they have him doing a lot of things around the football. Me, personally, I would double DK on the outside with somebody other